Hi, my name's Steve, and some people within the gaming community will know me as Rident. I'm an accountant by day and an avid gamer by night, and during weekends. I tend to be mostly active on the social media, Twitter mainly, and I do have a reasonably close connection with some people within the gaming industry and help out on booths at conventions and things occasionally. Well, I'm with the old school crowd, and I did hear about Tomb Raider back just before it released, through magazines and news articles, etc. We didn't have the social media as we do today, and it was mostly through those that I was drawn into the game. Like, there was this game that was similar to Indiana Jones, and I was big into Indiana Jones and stuff. It was like an Indiana Jones style adventure, and it sported some pretty impressive 3D graphics for the time, and I thought this is definitely my kind of game. An instant buy, and I was a Sega Saturn player way back before I had the PlayStation, and that's the format which I first got it on, which thankfully was the first one it was released on. Well, as a kid, I did enjoy the bit of dress up and stuff, but like many people do, at a certain age I kind of hit a point where I just felt a little bit silly, and it was when I went to my first convention, which was an MCM convention in London, and I saw all these fantastic cosplayers, and I was like, well, this doesn't look so bad, and looked like something which I wanted to be a part of. But I was a little bit too shy to do it. And when I replayed Tomb Raider Anniversary, between the times, and I thought, well, Pierre kind of looks a little similar to me if I just do my face and stuff. So I was like, well, maybe I can do a cosplay of him. And I made many friends during the 2012-13 campaign for the reboot Tomb Raider game, and I thought, well, this is I made friends within the cosplay community and Tomb Raider community, and I thought, well, this is a perfect opportunity to get it together. And so I constructed a costume ready for the 2013 convention in MCM in London, and it was the year that they were showing had the Tomb Raider presentation with Camilla Ludington and stuff, so it was a kind of perfect opportunity to do so. And since I first constructed the outfit, I did make a few additional changes, and it's kind of evolved to what it is now. There are still some improvements I'd like to do. For me, cosplay is a little bit of an escapism from the norm. It kind of works for, like, in the perception of being another character for a day or a weekend, and getting to wear something a little bit different to my regular everyday clothes. I loved it when when you gather together with other fans of the community, other cosplayers. It makes it a lot more fun, and it's something. I mean, I haven't done a lot of it, but when I have, I've had like the times of my life. It's been brilliant. So things like being in groups within the same franchise and like posing for photographs together, and I think with me I picked villainous characters, which are a little bit different to the regulars. So with regards to costume assembly, I haven't really done any complex costumes. It's been pretty much this. I've done an Indiana Jones, and I'm working on another one at the moment. When I assemble my costumes, most of the characters which I've kind of picked have been mostly, more on a regular clothes basis, and I've been able to find accessories. So I scour the internet, find as close to the character accessories as I can, and so I'm kind of picky with bits that I choose. and I haven't had to make things like holsters and props like many other cosplayers do. And what I tend to do is find like the iconic pieces. If I can find period pieces, like I did for Indiana Jones, I found period pieces which fit the character and the costume for the period he was around. You know, the World War II, 1940s, etc. So I like to do that and make it as authentic as possible. I do make some changes. As you can see with the top here, it's a little bit thinner than what Pierre actually wears, and I did this because this is a lot more comfortable to wear at conventions, and wearing the thick knit top can be rather hot and uncomfortable. So I think comfort is a key thing when you're going to be in a costume all day. So for me, that's, you know, things that I tend to do. Yeah. Okay, which Tomb Raider characters have I done? Well, as you can see, I've done Pierre. Pierre's pretty much the only one I have done and finished. I picked the Pierre Dupont from the Tomb Raider Anniversary style. As I said, it's a character which I thought had a similarity with regards to some looks, and it was an easy pick for me. And I've enjoyed being a villain. It's fun. I am working on another costume, which I'm going to hopefully debut at Play Expo in October, which is Werner von Croy from Tomb Raider The Last Revelation. And I'm intending to do the later half of the game outfit, which is the beige cream suit jacket. And I've got the hat and I got the glasses, which I may show you in a bit later in this interview. So what's my favourite thing about the characters which I've chosen? Well, I mean, I like the characters, but some of the best things about them is they are... I have a little bit of a likeness, which makes it easier to pick them. They're not too complex. I'm not very crafty, so picking an easier construction costume is more on my kind of level. And I think that the characters I pick are not too common in cosplay groups, so it's nice to be the odd one out. When I went to EGX last year, and there was myself as Pierre with a lot of Lara's, so it was great for the photo shoots and things like that. And it's awesome being a bad guy. Now, I've not done a Lara outfit, but I do have some intention to do I want to do the Nevada outfit from Tomb Raider 3 as a male version of the costume. If I was to add one thing to a Lara Croft costume, it would usually be I'd say a prop to coincide with the game that I was cosplaying for. So for example, if I was doing the Tomb Raider 3 Lara as a male version, I would maybe pick the Element 15, like make an Element 15 prop to kind of go with the costume. It's a good little relic to take around with me and stick in the bag. And maybe some health packs or something like that. One thing I want to do for Von Croy is to get a key of Amulet of Horus for as a prop for that character. So my favourite qualities of Lara. Well, I really do admire Lara for her strength, intelligence, and her determination. She usually keeps going through situations when they get really, really tough, and just battles her way through without fears, really. I mean, she battles so many mythological beasts and adversaries during her travels, as well as the animals and other threats. She's very quick-minded when it comes to traps and stuff. So I really admire those qualities. I mean, she's faced the undead. She's faced dinosaurs. Who wouldn't want to do? Who wouldn't want to be that brave and smart? She also has, she's very knowledgeable. She's very smart. She tends to have a lot of knowledge of the places that she travels to. She's usually able to to read ancient scriptures and things. So I think they're probably the best qualities of her, and it's something which a lot of people can hope to identify with as well. Okay, my favourite Lara Croft outfit. That would have to be the Jungle Pants outfit from Tomb Raider Underworld. It's not my favourite game, though I do enjoy it. I think the Jungle Pants outfit, it kind of captures the her adventurous character, and it still captures her iconic look, even though it's not shorts. It's got her iconic look, and it's probably more practical and versatile outfit than some of her shorter garments. Another one I really like is the aviator jacket style, and I've liked that through the different ones that she's had, even in the reboot version, which is probably my favourite outfit from the reboot game. My favourite Tomb Raider game. I have debated with myself for quite a while with regards to what my favourite Tomb Raider game is, between the first and the second game in the classics. Having replayed both of those recently, I have come to the conclusion that I think the original Tomb Raider is possibly my favourite. And she may lack some of the moves, vehicles and costumes that she has in Tomb Raider 2, but I just think that the locations, the story, the levels and everything just feels so much better in the first game. And she doesn't face too many human enemies either. I think in Tomb Raider 1 there was just so many wow moments which were kind of captured through the environment, the tombs. It was the first time for many of the 3D graphics, and it brings back a lot of memories. Every time I play the game, it just brings back those fresh memories from my first times of playing the game. Okay, Tomb Raider movies. I actually enjoyed the Tomb Raider movies. I think that they capture the essence of Tomb Raider in some ways. I think Angelina Jolie did a very good job as portraying Lara Croft, but I think some of the writing and storyboard bits were a little bit off, and I tend to separate the films from the games. I mean, the games are themselves, I enjoy playing those. The films, a good watch. I think that the locations, the costumes and stuff were brilliant through through both of the films, and I think they did capture the light essence of Lara Croft, and when it actually came to the Tomb Raider. So, and they do make for an entertaining watch. Okay, so my favourite boss fight or puzzle within my favourite game. This would be a puzzle which coincides with my favourite level, which is the Tomb of Qualopec on Tomb Raider 1996. The room itself or the level itself is a puzzle. You've got the 3 switches which you got to hit to then gain access to the room with the ski on. And I think my favourite sub-puzzle within that is the bird door one, which has the moving columns, a bit like a chessboard piece. You got to move the columns to then gain access to the rooms on the upper floor. I think I remember spending so many hours, and I think may have been repeated days like going back into it, trying to work out the puzzle, you know, before you had all the guides and stuff you have online now. I think it incorporates some good thinking, and the reward at the end of the 3 puzzles is more than sufficient. When you first see the that room that you go into with the piece of the ski on, you encounter the mummies and stuff, which is kind of cool. I think that it's a really good level, and I think it was rewarding kind of getting to that point after all the travels that you have before that through the valley and Vilcabamba, if I pronounced that correctly. It was a complete change in location. The place looked fantastic. It looked like an ancient hidden tomb, so which it was. Okay, so how do I feel about the new origin stories? Well, I think sometimes it's good to reset, start afresh, and I think the reboot did a very good job of that. Again, like with the movies, it's not for everyone. It's different in terms of pace and style as the classics, but I've really enjoyed playing through both Tomb Raider 2013 and Rise of the Tomb Raider, and I've enjoyed watching the evolution of reboot new Lara Croft. The games don't really take away from the classics, to be honest. I mean, you can still go back and play them, and I do that myself. So, and I think it's nice to have a little bit of change. The puzzles in the reboots were, I think, a little bit too simple. They weren't challenging. Things were improved on Rise of the Tomb Raider, but I don't want to go into that because some people haven't actually played that game, due out on PS4 later this year. I mean, there were changes within the reboot that I wasn't that, much in love with. Things like Lara's, reliance and push in the story with regards to the other characters. The same thing happened with Tomb Raider Legend when there was Zip and Alistair introduced, and it kind of, Lara didn't have to think for herself, she had them to back her up. And some of the things which are stripped away, like the swimming and the dual pistols and everything, and then some of the the motivation for her push forward, mostly being rescuing Sam, which got a little bit tiresome. But I think the overall story and the themes were pretty good. I would have liked it to be more kind of focused on the discovery of the Yamatai and finding more about Himiko and stuff like that, as opposed to the push, because being pushed forward into the story and finding Himiko because of Sam. But as I said, some of the niggles that I had with the reboot were addressed in Tomb Raider, Rise of the Tomb Raider, which is a very good game. And I'm looking forward to whatever's coming forward. Another thing that I do like in the reboot is there's the variety of costumes, which are very normal costumes, but I've enjoyed watching, looking at cosplayers dressing in the various different costumes that are available. It's always kind of interesting seeing some of the new pieces, or even hybrid costumes coming about at the conventions. So a dream Tomb Raider related costume for me that I'd like to do in the future. Well, I did mention already that I wanted to do a male version of the Nevada costume from Tomb Raider 3. I also want to do Matthias, not Father Matthias, but the Matthias that takes Sam away in the first place with the walking stick and at the campfire. I want to do that version. But for that, I do need to work on his neck piece, which is a little bit, probably the more complex part. I need to get good screenshots or something to kind of see what pieces are actually on the neck. And then, as I have already also mentioned, I am working on Werner von Croy, which I am expecting to be a lot of fun to wear at convention. So, advice for first-time cosplayers, anything that I'd like to share with readers, well, or viewers. Well, if you're like me and kind of lack crafting skills, then, or even are a bit nervous to cosplay, which I was, but I've kind of gained a bit more confidence in recent times attending the conventions and things. I would say maybe find a more simple costume to construct, something that doesn't require too much work of, the holsters and stuff, or even finding somewhere where you can get pieces commissioned if you're not too crafty. There are many cosplayers out there within the Tomb Raider cosplay community which are very helpful. They have Etsy shops and stuff which can possibly do some commissions and make some pieces for you if you're not too good or skilled for doing it yourself. Another thing is, don't worry too much about if your costume's not looking good. I mean, my costume's not perfect, and I was a little bit worried at first, but once I was at the convention, and I think this is the same for many, once you're at the convention and people are taking photographs of you and you're mingling in with the community, all of those worries just kind of go away. So I would not worry too much about, does my costume look good enough? People are going to recognize you, people are going to want photographs, and all of that will wash all those worries away. Once you're at a convention, and you're with other fans, you'll fit in. If you can organize groups, it's even better. And this is kind of based on personal experience as well as what I've seen from other cosplayers. Also, another kind of cool thing is if you post up your cosplay progress before you go to a convention. If you have a good community, a good cosplay community, they will usually offer helpful advice or helpful critique, as opposed to downplaying all the time. So post up your cosplay progress, you'll get some compliments. It'll make you feel so much better, so much more confident to attend the conventions, and feel confident to turn up in your cosplay. So that's just helpful little things I would suggest. So I hope you've enjoyed my little interview. This is for Tomb Raider Cosplay.com or Lara Croft Cosplay.com, and you can view my gallery for Pierre Dupont on there, as well as many other really talented cosplayers. And there's also plenty of tutorials to make your own costume props and helpful tips with regards to constructing your costumes together, especially if you're a Lara. If you're wanting to do a Lara cosplay, then all of the resources are on the website. Thank you.